Huge banned and restricted announcement impacting multiple formats. Let's get right into it. So first of all, Classic Constructed, Bonds of Agony is banned, Golden Tipple Red is banned, Golden Tipple Yellow is banned, Plume of Evergrowth is banned, Talk a Big Game is banned, and Germinate is unbanned. But let's start with Bonds of Agony. I think this is a huge ban. I actually expected them to take up the mantle, but I guess Bonds is the actual problem. I think what he said is that it's so true, because there's a damned if you do, damned if you don't play experience. Whether you block or not sometimes just doesn't matter. There's just no right answer. If there's a Bonds of Agony on the first combat and then you give them 12 block, it's just as go again because of Sleepy's ability, and then they send something else behind. Either way, you lose so many cards, you lose out on so much value. And as we all saw in the previous top 8 somewhere, the stream game, the Bonds double nick, it just becomes a 0 for 4 that strips at least one card out of your hand. So I think this is a good ban. I like it. I mean, now this also hits Mantle in the way that you just don't have as good a target for Mantle. So yeah, this is great. Makes the Dash IO matchup better. Golden Tipple, Red and Yellow. This is a very interesting ban. I think blue is definitely the best color for Gravy. But of course, taking away blue means you're taking away one of the most powerful gold generation hero ability activator. And red and yellow still fulfill a subset of that purpose by making gold and discarding your allies. But I think it's just the fact that they have so many copies of it, so they can snowball the gold, and they just poke damage like a ninja. 3 go again, 3 go again, 2 go again. I think this is a fairly balanced ban. I think what Brian is talking about Gravy is that even though the data says that the deck is not exactly warping, the play rates, the win rates are totally acceptable. It's not warping the format. But in the hands of really good players, all these Pro Tour top 8 competitors like Shure Wu, it just becomes such a good deck. There's such an inevitability about it. And yeah, the good matchups are over before they even begin. And it always involves cracking 3 to 4 gold. You get to shape your hand, especially for those who know their pitch deck. They know what cards are coming up next. Brian also says that there may be more adjustments for Gravy Bones, which I think is fair. This might not impact the deck as much. And one of the things he pointed out was perhaps Saltwater Swell in all colors, if it also proves to be too much. But if the metagame evolves where Gravy isn't so good anymore, the Tipples might come back. So they're open to a lot of possibilities, which I think is fair. I think it's a good approach to this. There's a thing about Marlin here as well, but I mean, who plays Marlin, right? I mean, sorry, Marlin players. There is potential in Marlin's kit. Trust that someday she will find her place, just like my favorite hero. Next up, Plume of Evergrowth. So this is envisioned as a Verdance hit, and they said they wanted to be a battle mage, but because there just wasn't enough damage physically, the Rampant Growth life combo was born, and then because of Plume, you get that additional graveyard. You can find it from the graveyard, right? Unfortunately, I don't have much to say about this ban. I don't know about Verdance. I just don't rank Verdance very highly because I'm so used to beating Verdances. But with the new cards, Light Up the Leaves, maybe this is a good ban, a good step to take in order to nerf Verdance slightly, because apparently she's gonna get good if Gravy becomes bad. Next up, we have Talk a Big Game. I'm not even sure what this card is, so let's take a look. I think it's a Brute. Yep, it's a Brute Guardian action. Choose a number. The next time you deal that much or more damage to this hero, physical damage, create that many might tokens. Okay, so if you choose 1 or 2, right, so okay, if you deal 3 damage, you get 3 mites, basically, but you have to choose the right number. So I guess this is just a preemptive ban, like what they did with Needles. Yeah, I think they mentioned Needle Ira. Most probably it affects one of the new heroes coming out in Super Slam. So sure. Germinate is back. This is the one that kind of scares me a bit because it might mean Florian comes back, and Florian is a bad matchup for Dash.io. Brian explains it well, you know, after they took out Germinate, Florian's basically disappeared. I don't know if that's because of Germinate or because of the new heroes, but now with Germinate back, with Everbloom live, they are giving Florian basically one of the best end games in all of Flesh and Blood. They're looking to make a secondary Predator. Well, okay, sure. Let's see how that goes. I hope that they are open to rebanning stuff for Florian in the future, because I remember the Florian days, and there was just Florians running around everywhere, and it was pretty bad. It was kind of boring. So next in Blitz, Talk a Big Game once again is banned, and I think for the same reasons that they mentioned in CC. But I think the biggest other change we have is in Living Legend, and Deadwood Dirge is unrestricted. So previously, I think because of Chain, they wanted to take this step to restrict Deadwood Dirge. It's just so good. It's a 0 cost, destroy an aura, you get 3 Rune Chant tokens, and this even destroys detrimental auras that you have. I think the fact that you have this back in Chain, and it also gets to go in Viserai now, this might shake up Living Legend just a bit, get these Rune Blades back into the format, and I'm excited to see where Living Legend goes. I've been playing quite a bit of it with a couple of different heroes, including Dash.io. So I think one of the things that is a bit different, I'm not sure if this happened before, but all these changes are effective from today, which is Monday, the timing of this ban announcement. I think in the past, or maybe there was Living Legend points that took 1 week to kind of lock in. But let's talk about where the format goes from here, because I've been reading a couple of comments, and I think the consensus is that for Gravy Bones, it's not super huge. It's a big change for sure, but there are potential replacements already in the card pool. You have things like Loan Shark to get gold, you have even Swindler's Grift, which isn't great, but it makes gold. And if you're concerned about getting allies in the bin, you have things like Jittery Bones and Restless Bones. So plenty of other cards to consider for Gravy Bones, which kinds of opens up the deck building space once again, which I think is pretty interesting. I've been playing a bit of Gravy myself, and I'm probably going to play a bit more of Gravy to figure out if he's still a good deck. Maybe he becomes better, who knows. I think, like I said at the start, the biggest hit is definitely to Bonds of Agony. I think Slippy just loses a lot of power from this. I know that Slippy has an armor deck coming out, so that might change things again. But hopefully, I mean definitely, this is gonna be better for Dash.io. The matchup is gonna improve significantly, because Bonds of Agony was, every time they play Bonds and they activate it, it just increases their win rate by like 10-15%. So Bonds plus Mantle, you can get hit by it 6 times, which is ridiculous. So I'm kind of happy to see this go, and I think many heroes feel the same way. Besides that, I think Verdance, they are expecting Verdance to be good, and they're hitting Plume first to make sure it's not too good. So it seems like a very balanced ban for me. I think Verdance will still be good if Gravy is kind of getting pushed out a bit. So we might see Verdance rising a bit further up, especially with Slippy and Gravy pushed down a bit. Germinate coming back in also means Florian will come back. So maybe those 2 heroes are going to rise up once again, and it's going to be like Rosetta Part 2. Well, minus Aurora. Overall, I do think this is a pretty balanced banlist announcement. Unfortunately, if you were playing Gravy and Slippy, you just now have to kind of rebuild those decks and figure out if they're still viable. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you agree with all this? Do you disagree with any of the bannings? Are you happy? Are you angry? Let me know everything down in the comments below. I'm pretty happy about it, pretty excited to try out this new refreshed meta. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.